we are here with Richard Chu. Richard Chu, welcome to the program. How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing very well. Thank you.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right, so you are an actor.
Yes, I am.
Are you a union actor?
Yes.
It seems to
SAG
be
and
like the
AFTRA.
word of the day. Everybody has to be SAG in order to get on the program today.
Yeah, it seems that way. It is more financial backing.
Well, it costs money to get into, but
Uh-huh.
I understand that it pays for itself and like that. Yeah, just,
Yeah, I think that as a union actor, you have some guarantees. The union set it up so that when someone uses your image, you're guaranteed a certain pay rate, whereas if it's non-union, these production company can just tag you all over the place and not compensate you, and that's where it's wrong. And that's why I'm glad I am in SAG. And
has your likeness been used in things?
when I did print work,
It did what?
print work for commercial print photography,
Oh, okay.
I did stock photography, which is they pay you $400 and they take pictures of you in medical suits, lifestyle shots, and they sell the image, and whoever buys it has the rights to the image, so they can use that image and then tag it to some kind of product. So far, it's been okay. People have seen my tuxedo shots and say, "Hey, I saw your wedding picture in the New York Times." I said, "Oh."
I guess you've done some Law and Order.
Yes, I was on Law and Order Special Victims Unit twice.
Were you the victim?
Actually, no, I was.
Were you the perp?
No, I was one of those cops that bust in and say, "Hey," and I had to. Actually, on the Special Victims Unit, I had my dialogue in Cantonese. I had to speak Chinese, and we were in Chinatown, and I was addressing the sweatshop workers. I know some Cantonese. I needed to get coaching. I said, "Oh goodness, I'm forgetting my Cantonese. Help me out, my friend." So my friend would do the lines for me on a cassette recorder, so I'd play it over and over again just to make sure I get the accent right and to be credible.
So on the so you played a cop on Strangers with Candy.
Yes.
You played a cop on Law and Order.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that you're being typecast as a cop?
You know, I guess I was in denial for the longest time. I've always thought I would be like the leading man type of character, but then when I was looking down my resume, Korean cop, Chinese cop, Vietnamese cop, and I said, "Oh boy."
Hey, at least you got work.
Yes.
You've done some soap opera work.
Yes.
What have you done?
I've done all of the New York City soaps, All My Children, One Life to Live. What's the other one? Guiding Light, The City. But I actually had speaking lines on All My Children, One Life to Live, and As the World Turns. So those are the three soaps I've actually spoke.
Did you play an Asian cop?
No, you know what? I did play a Hawaiian cop on One Life to Live, but most of the parts I've gotten were like medical profession, like a lab administrator, doctor, neurosurgeon, orderly. So I play
Did you have a lot of medical jargon that you had to learn in order to do those roles?
maybe twice. I had to, but it wasn't anything
Oh,
that.
it wasn't like you were like we had to sit there and study the line over and over again to make sure you
Right,
said
right.
like, the name of the disease correctly. Or something.
Yeah, I mean, it does help if you can get the correct pronunciation just for the credibility's sake. So, and as a good actor, you would want to really be in character and really be committed to it and actually learn how.
I think the sign of a good show is if you tell me something that is like a medical thing. If I were to look it up, you would be right on the money.
Right.
And there's some shows that they just BS their way through, but I've seen shows where like everything is exact, and then you can actually watch it and you can like diagnose what's wrong with yourself sometimes.
Good.
And
No, that's
just
a good
from,
thing.
Just from watching the program. So
Well, it's just like you know, I love to use this example. A Star Trek fan, they just love the show, and they know the science behind that, and that's why current science has to match up to what's being written on the programming. Because I mean, 40 years ago, who's ever heard of a wormhole? And now, well, it exists. So,
Oh, they stuff like they have the communicators.
right,
We have that now. They're called cell phones.
exactly.
You know, no one ever thought that any of this stuff would exist. I mean, transporters, I probably won't see it in my lifetime, but
Right.
you know, maybe my kids, my grandkids would see something like that.
It may start off as a food replicator.
Yeah.
Just think of a microwave that just produced food, so that might happen soon.
What were when you were growing up? What made you want to become an actor?
Honestly, when I look back, I can just say I was a kid that wanted attention. Didn't get it enough attention from my parents or from my peers. I was a
Did you cause trouble in school to get this?
no,
attention,
no.
or-
I was goofy,
Oh,
and
you're
I was a nerd. The great thing about growing up wanting to be an actor was that a producer came to this after school program, a daycare center, and they were looking for an Asian kid, a Chinese kid, for this TV show called Vegetable Soup, and it was a segment in it called Outer Scope. And the show that I was doing is called Outer Scope 2, which is season 2 of that show, and it's about these puppets that would that built a spacecraft or some kind of aircraft and would go all over the world and have maybe like a 5-episode arc of some story. And this storyline, they're looking for a golden medallion, and they got lost in Chinatown, and in comes Jimmy Wong. So that was my character name. I was Jimmy Wong.
Jimmy
at
Wong.
10 years old, yeah. 10
That's
years old.
such a good name.
Yeah, it is a good name. And that was like they auditioned me. You know, when you're a 10-year-old kid, not knowing anything about audition process, they just want to see your character. They want to see if you're likable, if you are not shy, if you want to talk to people. And I guess I won someone over. And then I was cast as Jimmy Wong. I had to work with a dog because my dog ran away. So
How long of a story? I mean, how many episodes was Jimmy Wong in the?
it was
Vegetable Soup?
2 episodes.
2 episodes.
But it was like maybe like a 3-week shoot because it was in Chinatown. It was also in Central Park. So that was my thing. It was that was my start. But then I wanted to do more because they called me back to read some poetry, you know, in front of the camera. Maybe some kids' poetry that was submitted. They wanted a kid reading it, but my parents were against that. I guess they bought into the Hollywood kid getting involved with drugs, alcohol, and they thought that, you know, I might get sucked into that. So that was put off for a long, long time. And then when I was in college, I did a little bit of theater, and I said, you know what, I really, really want to get back into acting. And when I was done with college, then I said, okay, I'm going to do it. And I didn't know where to start, so I started doing modeling work and thinking that that would lead into acting. And it kind of did. Yeah, because you do modeling work, and then models become spokesperson, and then they'll do commercials or industrial. So that kind of like one way of becoming an actor, you know.
So you done the modeling.
Yeah.
You did the acting. Did you have did you ever have like an average Joe regular day job?
Yes, yes, I did. I've been in the food and food and beverage industry for a long, long time.
Food and beverage, like waiter.
Yeah, waiter and bartender. Yeah.
Bartender.
Yeah,
Now,
totally.
when you were a bartender, where did you bartend at?
Okay, well, I started bartending at various restaurants in Pennsylvania. I went to Penn State University, so I've worked at all over State College area. I started off as a waiter. Buster, waiter, then bartender. Bartending because it was just fun watching people going like that and mixing in the drink, and then it turned to this.
Did you
this
kind
color.
of thing when you flip the bottles in the air like cocktail?
Did I tell you I was a klutz? Okay, yeah,
No, you knew better. You knew better.
It will embarrass me more, and I don't think. Well, I might get sympathy tips, but hey,
Yeah,
I can do that.
The tips won't pay for the bottles you just broke.
Yeah, how much did that cost? Okay, but when I moved back to New York, I did a little bit of waitering, and then I found a bartending job, and I worked at Windows in a World as a bartender there. I was up there for 4.5 years to the very end. and doing bartending and going on auditions. Yeah.
So you said to the very end.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So like you were not involved in the tragedies of 2001.
Right. What happened was that on Monday, the day before, I had a dress rehearsal, a final dress rehearsal for this off Broadway show, and it was just a rough rehearsal. I had a headache, but woke up and I got dressed, and I said, well, maybe I can still somehow make it to my audition in New Jersey. I don't know how. I was going to rush out there and then come back and perhaps work the shift and make up my hours. So what happened was that I left my apartment around 8:30, and I lived like a block away from the bridge, the Manhattan Bridge, and that's when I heard the explosion. And I didn't know what that sound was. I thought it was a bomb because I said it could have been a bomb or a gas tanker on a bridge, because what makes that loud bang? And the funny thing was that the cars that are parked in that area, their alarms are going off simultaneously, so it's kind of eerie. And cross under the bridge, heading to the subway station, and people were all over the street saying, "Oh my God!" And I got.
Don't you have a radio?
No, this is before like cell phone was really popular. I mean, even though
Yeah,
I
I
had
was saying
one.
like FM radio. It was,
No, I was on my way to work.
Yeah,
I mean, to the audition. So I was just
Oh, you had the radio off, and you're like mindset on
my
audition.
mindset was to get to the audition.
Yeah.
So I was going to the subway, and then finally, like someone stopped me, and like pointed, look, and I looked, and I said, "Oh wow, that's my building."
Yeah.
Because the first tower that was hit, that was where Windows in a World was.
Yeah.
We have 107th and 106th floor. But I looked at the hole. I said, okay, something happened on the 90th floor. So nothing. All right, they'll put the fire out, and we'll close down for a few months, and we'll reopen New Year's Eve. That was just my mindset. So I went to the train station, got off at Port Authority, and then that's when they showed 2 buildings on fire. Then I said, oh, okay, this is serious. This is a terror attack. And then I called the agency. I said, I don't think, I just missed my bus going to New Jersey, so I don't think I can make it. Then she said, oh, don't worry about it. And by the way, they closed the, you can't cross the bridge or the tunnels. And they wouldn't allow that, so we might not have this audition after all. And I said, oh, good. I'm stuck in New York. I can still do my show. Maybe, check things out. And then when I took the train back, going home to downtown, the train got stuck for 20 minutes, and finally I said, let me just get off at whatever stop, which is West 4th Street, Greenwich Village. I went to my friend's place. He apologized. He said, Rich, I'm just so sorry. I said, well, what are you talking about? He said, your building, it just collapsed. I said, I didn't get it. I said, what are you talking about? He said, there's no more. I didn't understand until he put the TV on. And this is on replay. And then they said, oh, and you see building 2 go down first? And I said, oh, wow, well, it's weird. It's not the Twin Tower anymore. It's just one tower. Minutes later, it's the second building went down. And then the first thing that came out of my mouth was that I have no job. I said it like for a minute, I have no job. And I didn't even think about the people, because the fire...
Okay, so
right.
you lived because you overslept and
Right.
missed work.
Uh-huh.
And then the first thing you think of is you have no job.
Right, I did. No, because...
In hindsight, do you feel like a jerk?
No,
You feel blessed. Of
No, well,
course.
yeah, because like the thing was that I know that well, the timeline was that the building got hit at when it got hit, it was an hour and a half before it collapsed. So in my mind, I thought everyone got out in time, because my managers once had a race down the tower, and they made it out there like in 20 minutes or like 20 minutes or half an hour. So in my mindset, again, I thought
Everybody was fine.
exactly, and that's
Yeah.
what happened. And well, that's what happened. So then like I was in shock, but they postponed the audition, so I was able to go to the audition like a week later. And fortunately, I booked the job. It was a commercial for Lincoln Tech, Citone Institute, so I got that job. But I had a lot of distraction between the time, because like I didn't have time to mourn properly. I got booked on another soap, an independent film, and another short film, so that was a distraction, and I didn't feel the full effect until after Christmas when everything was slow. So that's what happened. Yeah.
So, do you have any other projects that you're working on currently, or?
Well, right now, I've done many soaps. Last summer, my movie came out. Well, not my movie, but I was in The Happening, and was able to work with Mark Wahlberg and John Leguizamo, so that was great. And work right now is really tough because there was supposed to be a strike, a SAG strike, but that never happened. But they ceased production, or at least they slowed down production, so there weren't any work out there to audition for. So I was told that if you're gonna find some work, you have to create your own. So right now, I'm actually working on maybe like a webisode for children's programming. It's still like.
Are you gonna bring back your classic character from Vegetable Soup?
Thank you. That could work, right?
You can actually have him host a show, and he's grown up now. And
well, right now, I'm thinking about again with the puppets. I've worked with puppets like on my first show. Like I'm thinking about bringing a puppet back and having an interact.
You could reprise your role.
I could be James Wong.
Yeah.
Right, James Wong, the
James
adult.
Wong, and you grew up,
grew up.
now you're in charge of the vegetable soup.
Exactly.
Well, I tell you what,
Yeah.
Richard, we are looking forward to the return of Jimmy Wong.
Totally.
And thank you for being on the program.
Well, thank you for having me.
Right here on Inside Entertainment.